if I saw another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking up about the same mistake. Darling, when you go away, it won't be as simple for you.
Yo, guys. It is Old Man G here, back again for another match reaction. Apologies, this is late and delayed. Been busy all day. Samasa, also in the background. I will bring you back in. I will bring you in. I just need to just cook for a little bit. But before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, We're United X, and smash that notification button. And it's in the title, man. Bruno wins it. Bruno wins it, man. And at the end of the day, no. The thing is, I'll say this. I'll say a few things right at the bat. Number one, that was a shocking refereeing decision, and so that's kind of part of the reason why a lot of people complain about performance, etc. It's like I don't really care, is because at the end of the day, if that was a goal, it shouldn't have been ruled out. And if we get that, Fulham really, because I'll keep it stacked. Fulham didn't really. I know Onana made a few saves, but really and truly, Fulham didn't do enough to win the game. They didn't. And as I said, I think in my weekly, I was like, I expect United to win this game. And even on Twitter, why are we starting Johnny Evans Maguire? It's because to be honest, Fulham don't have, and they haven't shown this season the clinical edge as to where I was concerned about them scoring tons of goals against United. I wasn't. The issue for me was the midfield, and that's something that we'll talk about in this show. I don't know what's going on with VAR. I think that I don't understand. I just don't understand the purpose of it. I don't want to blame referees and stuff, but I don't get it. Where like it's just inconsistent. Sometimes when it's clear and obvious, they'll intervene. Sometimes when it's not clear and obvious, they'll still intervene. And I don't get it. Because looking at that decision of Maguire, you can maybe make a small case that Maguire might have technically been offside. But the reality is that it's definitely nowhere near offside compared to Akanji's goal against Fulham 2 games ago. 2 games ago, Akanji literally jumped over the ball. He's literally in front of the goalkeeper and jumps over the ball, and VAR like, nah, we don't view that. We don't view that as an offside. So the inconsistency, I mean, you even saw it today again with Arsenal, Newcastle. Even though I think Newcastle fair enough, but the ball is in the same position as Rashford's ball. One is out, one is in. Like, we're getting to the point that now offside and balls out are in a subjective cause. Offside should be an objective call. Whether ball is in or out of field should be an objective call. And the reality is that we have technology to make sure that this doesn't happen. And the Premier League, the referee association, refuses it because they're arrogant. I don't understand why, when we're in the biggest league in the world, that you can't afford to buy the best referees in the world. Because it's only the best referees can use VAR technology in the way that it should. And quite frankly, the current British referees are bricks. So I'll put that out of the way. That's why I'm not that fast. People say performance. I don't care. I'm glad we won, because if we'd not won, it'd have been a grave injustice. So that's the first thing. Second point is this. it was not overall, it was not a good performance. But I would say that in part is due to the imbalanced midfield and our attackers. Anthony, for me, needs to be dropped. Rashford obviously didn't play because of his injury, other issues. I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, Anthony needs to be dropped. Palestri came on and did far more in terms of, I mean, he helped create the goal, to be quite frank. And if Ten Hag plays Anthony, like Anthony has literally done nothing since the beginning of the season. And I don't know, maybe it's the issue with obviously the cases around him stuff. Maybe his mind's not there. But quite frankly, he needs to be dropped. He needs to be dropped because he is just not good enough. He's not good enough at this level. Palestri, Ahmad, Sancho, whoever. If you're gonna still beef with Sancho, that's fine. But get Palestri on there because he's gonna, and he has contributed more this season. Anthony has done in how many games? So Anthony not good enough. Haaland is starved of service. You can see the frustration that Haaland had because we're not creating up, but someone like Palestri would. And for me, this is on. I'll talk about Ten Hag because the team selection is on Ten Hag. There is a team there that can. I know United have injuries, but there is a team there that can be picked that can work potentially. Garnacho, whatever you say about Garnacho, he's still, and the thing is, I don't think he's ready yet. But the reality is, he's still in better form than Rashford is. So you start Garnacho, you start Haaland, you start Palestri. That's your front three. Midfield is where it gets tricky because you cannot have. The reality is, McTominay was arguably United's best player today. McTominay was arguably United's best player today. And that can't be a good thing. It can't be a good thing at all, quite frankly. Because you have a midfield of Bruno, McTominay, and Eriksen. Eriksen doesn't have the legs. He can't play 90 minutes. Bruno, yes, he scored the goal. But even he, there was one time in particular where I was like, Bruno, come on. You can't make a simple pass now. What is going on? The frustration, like and now I can go in him because I was calm Bruno, but it's like, but you're the captain now. You've got to show the composure. You've got to show the discipline, and you're not doing that. And that's not good enough for me. That's not, as a captain of Manchester United, that is not good enough. It's not good enough. It is not good enough. I think when you look at Mason Mount as well, like I honestly don't know why Mount and Havertz have basically been the big. Chelsea robbed Arsenal United. Mount and Havertz are useless, and I don't know what happened to Mount pre-injury. I mean, he was okay in his first game, but like, so people say he should start. But even when he starts, what does he actually do? What does this brother do? He doesn't do anything. He literally doesn't do anything. I don't know what. I genuinely don't know what. Was he brought in to play the Frank de Jong role? He can't do that. I don't know. I don't know. But as I've said several times, I don't see how Mount or Amrabat, all these dons are not upgraded Fred. Fred is far the superior player to Mount and Amrabat. It's not even close. So Ten Hag was a fraud for letting Fred go because since he left, our midfield has just looked bad. And I said several times last season, our most balanced midfield last season was Casemiro, Fred, and Bruno. Fred with the legs to help Casemiro out, and also the tenacity to help Bruno going forward. We don't have that player anymore. Mount can't do that. So there you go. Evening, says Rob. Gino, big up, Rob, man. Even we got the 3-1-3, which is great, but it's not bad performance. Sorry, but it's still not great to watch. We just prep. Yeah, exactly. Is Dante prep? No, he's not. He's every visual standard. He's not. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm definitely not going to go down the line of sacking out getting over manager because at the end of the day, and I said this when Ollie was sacked, was that a lot of people. It's interesting how a lot of people are who I know were saying, sack Ollie, get him out, etc. Get Ten Hag in because he's an experienced coach. He's done this, he's done that, blah, blah, blah. who are now like, oh, get him out. He's this, this is this. And they're saying the exact same thing as before. So those who are saying get De Zerbi shot, stuff like that, I'm like, what makes you think that De Zerbi is going to come in, even though De Zerbi is getting cooked by Sean Dyche and David Moyes at Brighton? What makes you think De Zerbi is going to come in, use the players, pick your favorites like Sancho or whatever, and ball with them? What's the basis for that? There's no basis for it. There's zero basis for that whatsoever. You know, I don't get it personally, but that's what people think, and they will assume they will genuinely believe that if United get another manager, he will do this. They'll do the same thing where, okay, give him a season, let's see what he does, and the same issues will basically present themselves. So quite frankly, you might as well stay, because right now there's no manager in world football that I think that is available that's going to come and sort this Manchester United mess. Not Xabi Alonso, not Zidane, none of those are coming, and none of those are available. And I don't think they can, to be honest, not under the current ownership structure, which is the key thing. And obviously, I agree with you, G, everything you're saying. I know Anthony, like you said, but I don't want to see Anthony starting for Manchester United over Palestri. Anthony should be coming on. Okay, I don't know where Ahmad is. If Ahmad is available, if he's touching grass, get him there. And if Sancho isn't going to say whatever, get Sancho on loan, gone, and then go and get another right winger. Like, see, if we were a serious club, like, look at what happened with Grealish at City. Grealish has been dropped for Doku's balling. City spent 100 mil to get Grealish, and they're dropping him for Doku. We spent 70-something on Anthony and Rashford. They're flops. Fine. Go and get another right winger. In January, United should go and get a right winger. They should get a striker, and they should be getting a centre back, and they should probably be getting a midfielder as well. Possibly a fullback. You could make a case United need 5 players because of how injury prone the squad is. You can make a big case for that. But are they? No, we're not going to get anyone. And so that's why I said that, like, this club is never going to compete for anything major, because you can clearly see the deficits in this team. Like, Johnny Evans and Reguilon are not. People need to remember, Johnny Evans and Reguilon are not Manchester United players. Reguilon is only here till January, and Johnny Evans is only here for a year. So when those two go, you still need another fullback because of how injury prone ours are. You still need another centre back, minimum 2, and you probably need another midfielder at this point because of how of what's happening with Amrabat is a year, and we don't even know whether we're gonna sign him or not. And from the performances, to be honest, I don't think we should. I don't think we should have signed Mount, quite frankly. I think we should have kept Fred, and I think we should have signed someone like Pogba. But we don't. So, you know, for me, from what I've seen of Amrabat, I don't see a reason as to why we should go all out to sign him, dude. I'll be perfectly honest. We'll see what happens, but I don't. I'd rather get a player like Rodri type of player, and then get like someone who can actually hold on to the ball in the midfield. Because, like, we need someone to replace Amrabat, and we need an Eriksen replacement. That's what we need. Whether that will happen under Sir Jim Ratcliffe or not, I have no idea. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Who knows at this point? But going back to the game, guys, yeah, I just think that I don't know. I don't want to be too negative, because at the end of the day, Manchester United won the game. We won the game, and that's the only thing that matters. And our next game in the Premier League is Luton at home. So I don't care how bad Manchester United are. United are beating Luton at home. Okay, we are. We should. If we can't beat Luton at home, Ten Hag should be sacked on the spot. If we get pinned up by Luton at home, Ten Hag should be sacked on the spot. So I'm fairly confident that United will beat Luton. and then you have Everton away, which is neither touch or go, and then you have Newcastle away. And like I said, and if we look at the table, you know, where is it here? Look at the table here. You know, United, I think we were 8th. We're still 8th. I don't think anyone can get above us. We're going to remain 8th regardless of what happens. Chelsea are 12th still, depending what happens to these guys. But as I said, it's about 5th. It's about 5th. Because I just don't see with the way thing. I know we're only 6 points behind Arsenal. I know. But to me, we need to. The only point of this season is to try and get through it and secure Champions League football. That for me is the only point of this season. I know people might not like that with the injuries, with how we're playing. Secure 5th place, get the CL spot, and then hopefully when the whole ownership thing is sorted out, we'll have a bit more stability and we'll see what happens next season. I'll say it right now, because these 4 teams are far better than United in the position where they are. It's just as simple as that. And Rob again says, yep, like you say, we have a case for all 5. We need G. Doku is amazing, man. Lion fast. Why couldn't we have signed it? Well, we went for Anthony. I mean, even Grealish probably would be better than what we have right now. Like, our forwards are ass, to be honest. But let's keep it a stack. Like, I know people want Sancho back, but Sancho's played under almost 3 different managers now, and he's not been great. Like, Sancho's not done anything that I've seen in the season to warrant him being undroppable. Rashford, ever since he signed a new contract, gone. And you're relying on Garnacho and Palestri, who are basically kids. It's embarrassing. It really, really, really is embarrassing. You know, so overall, like I said, I'm happy with the win. You know, you look at United's fixtures, we needed our win at least. After conceding 3-0 back-to-back at Old Trafford, 3-0 to City, 3-0 to Manchester United, useless. So we need to start a win from somewhere. We beat Fulham. Let's try and get something against Copenhagen. You beat Luton and you won 3 games in a row, and maybe that builds the confidence to go away to Everton and do something. And then you've got a big Galatasaray game. So hopefully we can build momentum in these next 3 games to go against Galatasaray. Wan-Bissaka's back, who at least I know can pocket Zaha, so that's good. And then you've got Newcastle away the first of them, which is going to be a massive game. And to be honest, probably an L if we're going to keep a stack. But let me go and bring in bring in Samasi. Oh, Samasi, you keep on coming out. So I was literally just about to bring Samasi in, and then she's just left the chat. So our messages. So Samasi, when you're ready, I'll be open. And then if anyone else wants to come on, the link is in the description, guys. For those who want to come on, just let me know. Make sure that you like the vid and subscribe to the channel. I know this is a much delayed match reaction, so but just bear with me, folks. You know, so it is what it is. Let me have a look. Yeah. So what else will I just quickly say about the game? Yeah, a few honorable mentions. Onana made a couple of key saves, to be honest. I think that, you know, he's gotten a lot of grief, but he has improved recently. And this is the thing, you back him. I know people say Maguire and all these things are good enough, etc. But the reality is that, like, if it wasn't for our defense, even though our defense and goalkeeper's not been great, if it wasn't for them, we would still be we'll be a lot lower than we are. You know, big up AD. We would be a lot lower than we are if it wasn't for those guys. We would be. We would be. The reality is that our front 3 have only scored 1 goal in 10 games. All right, here's Samasi back. Let me just bring her in the show. This is an open reaction by the way. So if you want to come in and call in, just let me know. Samasi, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Yes, I can hear you.
I'm sure doing very okay after seeing Harry Kane dunk on Dortmund.
Listen, we still lost to a team who called themselves the Broken. Okay, we
Yeah,
still lost to them.
that was bad.
That was
That was bad. That was bad.
that's
That was
embarrassing. No, that's embarrassing.
yeah. That was bad. I will say that was I didn't even know what. Apparently, I don't know what does the name mean in German. Do you know? Do you know? Is it just the name of the city?
Um,
Or a meaning in German?
there's river called Saar,
Okay.
and Brücke, it's bridge. So
Wait.
that's
So wait.
that's what the name.
Wait. So you're saying that Bayern lost to a river bridge?
Yeah, we lost to river bridge.
Right. Okay. I mean, that's. But it's fine because Kane dunked on Dortmund.
No, it's not fine. We
It's
haven't won the FA Pokal in 4 years.
Yeah, I know it's a bit strange. I don't know why the Bayern players don't take it seriously. Is it just
Yeah, I
this
don't think.
this isn't the first time that Bayern got knocked out by a team that wasn't even in the Bundesliga one.
Yeah,
Like I remember, was it last season?
a
Or season?
Flick.
Go
No,
on.
with Flick we lost in his second season.
It's
weird.
It's weird.
But we have so many injuries. I can't really blame Tuchel for that one because he hasn't really had the players available.
No. Come on, Samasi. You can't.
No.
You still can't
Seriously, even Harry Kane had some muscle problems and couldn't play. Even Harry Kane had some problems.
Samasi, come on. We still can't lose.
No, I blame the players. We still have the quality to win against the Bridge, but we lost.
Yeah.
So but we won today. I'm happy. Musiala, Musiala, you can play him everywhere. He played. He played. I think he played for Kimmich today.
That he wants to leave. There's rumors that come out that he wants to leave. Is that the case?
No. They don't trust Wild. They are just making drama. That's what they always do. They are propagating drama. I wish Bayern could sue them, but their freedom of press. So that's
just to address this question. If we don't go over the next one, Champions League, do you think everything is on the line? I don't think so. Because he's not the first. How many? How many?
When was the last time that Man United were in the round of 16?
2 seasons ago under Ollie. When oh wait, no, hold up. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to think. When did we? Yeah, because I think we qualified. We qualified when Ollie. Yeah, Ollie got sacked. In the league, but we qualified for the round of 16. So Ragnick, I think we'll play Ragnick, and then we lost to Atletico Madrid. I remember that.
Yeah.
When Alanga scored that goal in against it, and then I think 2 seasons back it was. I'm just trying to think. That was that, and then maybe it was before that. It was Miracle and Camp Nou. That's what I think. Sorry, not Miracle Camp Nou. Nightmare in Paris. I think that's the last time I remember where and those are the only 2 that I can.
I remember that day.
That was and we'll talk about Mbappe later, but yeah, in answer to your question, Rob, it's easy. I don't think he'll be. The other thing as well is that the United will see it as a wares, because I don't think United will finish bottom to Copenhagen. So the reality is they'll probably end up dropping into the Europa League. And if we're honest, the Europa League is Manchester United's level.
That's true. Right now, yes.
So at the end of the day, it's still a path to the Champions League. So the board will probably think, okay, well, we dropped into Europa League, we'll just win the Europa League. Because at the end of the day, and in fairness, winning the Europa League.
Are you gonna win against Liverpool though?
Oh yeah, no, that's the problem.
Or Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen will dunk on you, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the thing. But I'm just saying that the board
they almost dunked on us, they will dunk on you.
Wait, so you're saying that Bayer Leverkusen might win the Bundesliga?
Xavi Alonso is a genius. How they play, They have
Tomasi,
a
Tomasi,
they have the
Tomasi.
right no, they have the right players, they have the right manager, and their defense is solid. And literally nobody of these players are injured. We are in an injury crisis, and we
Tomasi,
have a thinner
Tomasi,
squad as
Tomasi.
them.
What we're not going to say, what we're not going to happen, what's not going to happen, okay, is that Harry Kane signs for Bayern Munich and then
Oh my
goes
days,
trophyless this season. That's like we're
that
not going to be in
cannot
a
happen.
situation where Spurs win a trophy and Harry Kane goes to Bayern and goes trophyless. That's the conversation we're not going to have,
You,
because if
you
that
know,
happens,
this
you're gonna have to ask,
no.
questions about Kane and
I think I
Tuchel.
have to stop supporting Bayern Munich if that happens.
That
If
that 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 it
they're
just it's
called, RDS, they're called Neverkusen. You call them Neverkusen while they never won the Bundesliga title. If they dunk on us, it this will harm us for years.
yeah,
Our reputation will be in tatters.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Let me quickly just go to the so I mean, well, actually, just because we're talking about like just thoughts on this Manchester United. You probably know your thoughts on the Manchester United. Oh, big up Hokage. How is United sixth? They're not sixth, they're eighth for Kage. They're eighth. The Premier is
Shout out
dusted.
to
They were
Puya.
sixth, but they're eighth now, fortunately. Um, but I mean, but that's the problem is dusted. You say that though, but I mean, let's keep it stacked. City are still probably favorites to win the Champions League. Um,
Like 99%. There's the
yeah.
1%.
So
And
the Premier League is dusted, but I mean,
yeah,
City
yeah.
are probably going to still win the Champions League though. Like let's
Listen,
keep it stacked. So it's
listen.
just unfortunately.
If we buy somebody, if we buy Pelinia and maybe a centre back, maybe we can. If we don't buy a good midfielder, forget about it. If
I
we
think
buy a good,
even then, I
no,
think
because no, our attack is really great. Our defense is very solid. Our midfield is horrendous. It's garbage. It's absolute. There is no midfield.
mm,
Literally, without Kimmich, there is no midfield.
mm,
Musiala today
mm,
had to play Chemical, which he played great, and we
mm,
have to play somebody in our youth team
mm,
uh, who looked actually quite good
mm.
and got an assist today, which was great for him. But we need a really good midfield player because if we just play Kimmich and Goretzka, it doesn't work because Kimmich has to do all the work.
Sorry, let me just Hakagi. Let me just make this point, and a point I'm going to make on HH's stream when he starts is this. Right now, United are 6 points clear of Chelsea Football Club, the team that spent £1 billion
Oh my god.
in 1 year.
Wait,
United are
United are
currently playing the worst
still 12?
football. They're 12. United are
Oh
currently playing
my
the
god.
worst football in the last 50 years, the worst performance in the last 50 years. Now, Chelsea have to play Spurs on Monday, and then at the weekend, they're playing against Manchester City. If Chelsea lose against Spurs and City and United beat Luton, which they probably will, United are probably going to beat Luton. I'm fairly confident saying United will beat Luton. Even if it won't be pretty, they'll probably win. United will be 9 points clear of Chelsea FC. Okay,
Oh my god.
and Chelsea still have to go away to Newcastle, Brighton, and then obviously they'll come and play. That'll be away to Manchester United. So it's quite feasible, but that by the time that United
These
and
are
Chelsea play,
horrendous fixtures.
if by the time that Chelsea play United, it's quite possible that United could be 12 points clear of Chelsea, and if we beat them, we'd be 15 points clear. Now
No,
that's insane when you think about the fact that United are playing garbage and Chelsea spent £1 billion in 1 year. I think about Chelsea
no,
spent
no,
£1
no,
billion
no, no,
in 1 year,
no.
and there
They
potentially be
are 12.
15.
No, I'm sorry. They are 12 right now. They haven't played Man City, Newcastle, or Tottenham. How? How? Someone needs to explain Chelsea
No,
to
no.
me right now.
What needs to
How?
happen? See, and this is the thing. This is why, like, I do feel a little bit sorry for Ten Hag, because people talking about Ten Hag being sacked, United being awful, Ten Hag, etc. And I'm like, I
Talking
don't
about
understand.
Pochettino. Nobody's
Yes,
talking about him being fucking
what,
garbage.
how
What
is
the
it? How
fuck
is
is
it?
he doing?
If Chelsea are like 15th, because at one point today, Chelsea were 14th. At one
On
point
my
today,
days.
Chelsea were 14th, and it's quite possible if they lose to because they're probably going to lose to Newcastle at St James's Park. Let's be real, they probably are. They're probably going to lose to City, and I wouldn't be surprised if they might get a draw against Spurs away, but they're going to be away. Chelsea might be 15th, but the thing is, no one is going to say should Pochettino be sacked. That's what I don't understand. That's what's mad. It's like you're 15th, you spent £1 billion, but no one's calling for your job. Ten Hag, maybe between 6th to 8th, and they're like, he should be sacked. I
Because
don't understand that. I don't
because
understand that.
the media, because of the pressure, because of the main name Man United.
So wait, so you're saying that United's a bigger club than Chelsea then?
Obvious.
Okay. We'll stop.
It's a fact.
Hey, I don't think a certain Go analyst accepts that though, Samasa.
Yeah. By
It's
the way, I'm just saying the GOAT analyst is maybe biased.
right,
The GOAT
right. After trying to jinx the place, yeah, no, I don't disagree. Anyway, let's quickly move on.
Can I
Go on,
talk
have
about
your
the game?
okay, yeah, because can thoughts on the game, Samasa? Thoughts on the game before we get
Okay,
distracted.
so
Thoughts on the game.
I'm gonna say it. The English refs are too dumb to work with VAR. I said it. They are too dumb. Why? There are problems in the Bundesliga with VAR, but not often on site. Not when it's is it out? Is it out of the field? Is it on the field? That's are not the problems. Okay, that's like 50-50 decision, 60-40 decisions. They are the problems with VAR. Offside, onside decisions should not be a problem. Okay, you either can these refs. They should be fine. I am gonna say it. Higher form refs, higher better refs who are more qualified, because these refs are horrendous. I'm sorry. I thought the McTominay goal should have stood. I thought it should have stood. But whatever. And can I say Anthony, that fidget spinner, is absolutely useless and should never play for Man United ever again.
Yeah.
The only good thing Ten Hag did is put Rashford on the bench, because Rashford could get away with murder sometimes. And he needs to learn his lesson that he can't play garbage 24/7 every fucking game and get away with it just because he's Marcus Rashford. Okay, so good for Ten Hag to doing that. And Man United, they need to play better. They need to find. I think Ten Hag doesn't know what his midfield should look like. He doesn't know how to play with these players he have. And that is Ten Hag's problem he made. He bought these players. Yeah, he made this decision. Now he doesn't know how to play with them.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can give him some slack when it comes to the attackers and to defense, because at the end of the day, the defense will have injuries, and the attackers, he didn't get certain players, so it's fine. But the midfield, at the end of the day, he
wanted Kim and Jae, so for the defense, that was actually a good choice.
Yeah, he wanted Frankie de Jong for the midfield. He wanted Kane. Didn't get any of those. But the key thing Irish with Ten Hag is that he went out of his way to get Mason Mount. He went out of his way to get Anthony. So two of those signings that he went out of his way to get. Now, but at the same time, all that said, as I've said several times on this channel, is that it doesn't matter how much we spent. Pep Guardiola went out of his way to get Grealish for 100 mil. He's now dropped him, and Doku's come in.
Shout out to Doku. Shout out to him.
Doku. So, but the point is that he didn't. Pep Guardiola wasn't like, well, we spent 100 million on Grealish. Let's see if it works. Blah blah blah. He went out, got better, and that's it. And that's how any big club should roll. It doesn't matter if you spend. At the end of the day, you're not the one that takes the price. If the player that you bought doesn't work, it doesn't work. You go out,
you drop him.
Get better. You know, it's as simple as that. You know.
Yeah.
So if I'm the issue of Santiago, it's like, okay, fine, Ants didn't work. Okay, fine, Mount didn't work. Fine, okay, cool. It didn't work. Cool. Get rid. And then go and get a better midfielder and get a winger, etc. And that's it. Simple as that. We don't have to. I don't have to. Just because we spent 60 million on Mount and 70 million on Anthony doesn't mean we have to make it work because we spent that amount of money on them. No, it doesn't. We can just go out and buy a better wing, or at least use better players that are there. You know, that's what I think.
You just need a function in midfield. You don't need the best players in midfield.
No.
You need just a functional midfield, and you don't have it.
We had a relatively functional midfield when Fred was there, but I'm not going to talk about that. But, you know, so again...
Why did you... You should have not sold Fred. You should have sold... what's this... Eva I don't know. Fernandes is a fucking enigma for me. Yeah. He is not really a midfield player, but he plays in the midfield, so it's weird.
Let's play the worst football in the PL, says Zortang. Do we play the worst football in the PL?
Worse than Luton?
Nah, not as bad as Luton. Not as bad as Luton, man. No. Even Sheffield United aren't that great. Like,
when is Manu back?
Manu's already back. For me, Manu needs like, he's on the bench. Manu needs to come in.
Play him right now.
He needs to play.
He's better than the other midfield players. Yeah. Play him right now. Like, why? You know, our midfield, we have so many injuries. We played from our youth team. He's 20 years old. He got his first professional contract this week, and he was good. Trust the young player. If they come from your youth team, when you did right education with him, when he played for many games, he can do it. Trust him. When you look good pre-season, so I don't know what Ten Hag's problem is. Just play him with Casemiro, and I think it's gonna work out. It's better what you have right now. It's better what you have right now.
I agree. I completely agree. Rob says, sorry, it was D-Train. Sorry, first, a very frustrating time for all our supporters. Much needed win. Oh, we were playing. Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I've said times. Sorry, 1 second, Sebastian. Is that this whole Ten Hag out thing? There is not an available manager right now to come in and do anything with this team. I'm not hearing Conte. I'm not hearing De Zerbi. I'm not hearing any of these managers. There is not an available manager that will come into this team and do about. And last time we hired an interim manager, it didn't work. Like, in an ideal world, we actually should have made Ragnick director of football when he finished. Happen.
Why didn't you?
He said, buy Alvarez, buy this player, buy this player.
He has great talent, Adi. He always said.
But United were like, no, we don't need him. Sorry, go on.
The players running for Schalke, for Leipzig, for Hoffenheim, always great technical player with the right attitude. So I don't know why Man United didn't just put him as sporting director.
I don't get it. I don't get it either. Rob says, Ten Hag for me just needs more time. Second manager is not the answer at the moment. Yes, which I agree with. But if he doesn't get more wins, he could be out. What are your thoughts, guys, on Ten Hag? I've said several times that, like, I wasn't going to get emotionally invested in another manager and player. I needed to see evidence. And even towards the end of last season, if you go back and watch my post-match reaction to the City final, where we lost and effectively handed City the treble, I said that there were a lot of United fans like, yeah, it's been a good season, it's been a good season. And I said, no, it's been an okay season. I didn't say it was a terrible season because we won a trophy and we were third. But I said it was an okay season. I said that because at the end of the day, you handed City a treble, which is one of United's greatest achievements, to them. And two, you got spanked by Liverpool and City, and I think Brentford, I think as well. Well, and the manner in which we were knocked out by Sevilla, those results were unacceptable to me as a United fan. Even under Ollie, we didn't get that embarrassment. It's conceding 7 away to Liverpool at Anfield. I know we conceded goals. It was embarrassing. And then to essentially give when you have the opportunity to give the title, no. So I was always much reserved with how the team was, and again, quite frankly, in some of those games, if it wasn't for Fred, and on for Marcus Rashford, we probably wouldn't have been where we were. And obviously saw the defense that we had. Now the 3 things that helped us, I think, in my opinion, to win, which was a functional midfielder in Fred, on form Rashford, and a solid back 5. Our back 4 have mostly been injured for most of the season. Rashford is off form, and Fred is not longer there. So all the issues that I'm seeing now potentially would have been issues last season, but for those 3 factors. So if I'm out Ten Hag, and the thing is, and what I would say though to Rob is that we don't know what's going to happen with Sir Jim, because that officially is going to be ratified soon, and we don't know, because when Sir Jim takes over Sporting, it looks like he's going to be taking over Sporting decisions. We don't know how he's going to move, and it could be that Sir Jim, because at the end of the day, and this is obviously a win for Glazers, but it could be a situation where Sir Jim is like, I don't like this. I'm going to run things differently. We'll sack him at the end of the season. He might do that.
Can I say something about the Man United fans who want to sack Ten Hag?
By the way, big up Stephanie. Sorry, go on, Smasher.
They are crazy. First of all, it's not all Ten Hag. For some of these players have let down Mourinho, Van Gaal, Ole. These players, if it doesn't work what they want, and they're not playing all the time, they're or maybe there's something wrong in their personal life. They don't play great, or didn't trust the manager and want him out. They're down tools. Okay, that's what they do. So I don't. Man United fans shouldn't trust these players at all. Okay, and there is nobody available. I think Ten Hag at least get at least a chance this season to improve, because we have played now 10 games. Is it 10? So it's just 10 games. I would give him for the end of the season. If he haven't improved, then you can sack him at least in the summer, or before the summer, end of season. So at least for that, they're Man United fans. I don't know what's wrong with them. They are so one day flip floppy. They're like, yes, Ten Hag, and next day no Ten Hag. Just be patient and wait. Arteta, even though I don't really rate Arteta, hasn't have come. He was 8 2 times before he even got in the top 4. So just have patience. My God.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Big up Roger in the chat, man. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Right, let me just quickly go to the player ratings and then begin to round things off, because I need to cook KHH when I go on the stream. So let me see. Yes, okay. So let's quickly go up. So here we go. Player rating. And obviously, let me know what you guys think in the chat. Player rating, and so Samasi's here. So I think Onana, for me, I'll give Onana a 7 today. He's had a lot of criticism, but to be honest, and I've said this several times about him, is that, like, at the end of the day, We don't have the players to play with a ball playing player, and his shot stopping is getting better. But more importantly, is that a lot of the criticism that the defense of Nana have been given is because they'll make a mistake and see the goal. But that criticism should be laid on the attackers. Our attackers have only scored one goal amongst themselves. That's not good enough. So we can't be always complaining about the goalkeeper, complaining about the defense when how many clean sheets have this defense got? I think they must have at least 3 or 4 clean sheets this season. Which is still not enough, but it's still better than 1 goal in 10 games from our attackers. So as bad as our defense has been, it's still been more functional than our attackers have been. And that's where the criticism should be, not in our goalkeeper and our defense when they should be scoring more goals.
By the way,
go on.
Play Pelestri and put Anthony on the bench because at least Pelestri has a footballing brain.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna come to that in a second because it's we'll come to Anthony in a second. Wan-Bissaka for me, solid 6 and 6.5. Like we missed the guy. I think defensively, he's I know just I was having another fallback, to be honest. He worked hard to actually get back, and we need another fallback. And for me, I'll always put him on the right. I think Wan-Bissaka and Dalot, I think, is fine. And I think we need that. So for me, he was fine. Sometimes gets caught on the back post a bit still, but for me, United needed to function to be better defensively. And part of the reason why Wan-Bissaka, you'll notice that anytime Maguire plays, Wan-Bissaka doesn't go as forward as much. And I think that's intentional. Whereas if he's playing alongside Lisandro or Varane, he tends to go forward a bit more and get involved in the attack.
When is Varane coming back?
Well, no, Varane was on the bench. I don't know why he did come on. I don't know whether it's because I don't know whether it's
playing Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans. It's weird.
It's weird. And the only thing that I can think of is that it's because it's much like Martial. He wants to mitigate the injuries that Varane has. That's the only thing that I can think about. He wants to mitigate speaking of which, I need to put my man of the match thing on the community tab. I'll put my man on the community tab so people can vote. But the only reason I can think of it is simply just because he wants to mitigate Varane's injuries. People can say, why is it not? But at the end of the day, Varane hasn't been able to start 2 games in a row this season without picking up an injury. I'm sure if Varane and Martial were fit and could play 90 minutes, that they'd be starting. They would be 100% starting. But because you can't play them without them picking up a knock, it's difficult. This is the thing, and you don't know if you're going to get a red card, if the player's going to go out, when you're going to have to rely on these guys. So essentially, you can't rely on those 2 players. You can only use those players when as a last-ditch effort. So that's at least that's what I think. Maguire and Evans. I'll give Maguire and Evans a 6, to be honest. It was at the end of the day, the defense, and same with Dalot. I'll give Dalot a 6 as well. Like, they kept a clean sheet, they were solid. Yes, Onana made a few key saves, but I think just statistic wise, yes, they had tons of 18 shots. We had 12, but they only had 3 shots on target, and we had 5 shots on target. So I think the defense, as difficult as it is, the defense did its job today. Moving on. Eriksen. Oh dear. Eriksen can't be a holding midfielder. I'll give Eriksen a 5. Eriksen can't be a holding midfielder. He needs to be a number 10. End of story. McTominay for me, actually, I might actually give McTominay the man of the match, to be honest. I know Bruno scored the goal, but I'll give McTominay I'm giving him less than Wamba, Onana. So Onana's man of the match. I'll give McTominay 6.5. That goal should have stood. And then on top of that, I like the idea of McTominay as a second striker. I don't like the idea of McTominay as a midfielder. So second striker, yes, but it is what it is. McTominay, I'm not going to. Well, he's all that we got. He's all that we got, and he's better than playing Amrabat as a fullback. I'll be honest. And I don't think he's that much. I think that him and Dallo are arguably the same. I don't know. But defensively, I'm a lot more assured when we're playing Wan-Bissaka, personally. Yeah, Anthony's like a free man. Even though we won the match, Anthony's a free. I don't know whether it's the issue with, if at the end of the day it's the personal issues relating to his charge, etc. Then he needs gone, in my personal opinion. Not gone, sorry, but he needs to take some time away. Obviously, there's the Sancho issue. But for me, Pellistri did more than Anthony did, and obviously created the goal. Jarvis in your back, I'll bring you in. But he did more for the team, Pellistri, than Anthony did in however 70 minutes he was. Ten Hag needs to learn. I don't want to see, we play Copenhagen away, and frankly, I don't want to see Rashford and Anthony as starters. If I see that there, then he's sacking himself effectively. Because I don't. What do you expect to see from Anthony and Rashford that you haven't seen from them in the last 10 or 12 games? So you drop Rashford and even Bruno, to be honest. Give Anthony 2 to 3 weeks off. It will help. Yeah, and even Bruno, you can make a case, but he scored the goal and he's the captain. So what can you do? Let me finish this players and I'll bring Jarvis in. Yeah, Bruno, I'll give a 6. He scored the goal, so I'm happy with him. But some of his passing today was so bad. And as the captain, you've got to maintain composure there, and he's not. Just like Maguire, is Bruno captain too? I'm not entirely sure, but he came clutch. So we'll give him a 6. Garnacho tried his best. I'll give Garnacho probably a 6.5. He just needs to run the games. I still think he's more an impact player, but form-wise, he's better than Rashford right now. So you can make an argument for him starting. And Højlund, I'll give Højlund a 5.5. It's not his fault. He played well, but he's getting no service, and you could see the frustration in him. That's why I would start Garnacho and Pellistri. We need players that can feed into Højlund. And right now, Pellistri for me is the only player that could even resemble a winger that we have, unless you consider Sancho in the mix. Let me bring Jarvis in. Give me 2 seconds. Jarvis, buddy, man, how you doing? Long time no speak. Ooh, I think you're on mute. I'll unmute you. There you go. Ooh. So I unmute yourself again. There you go. Yeah, go on.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no
Yeah, big up RDS, and big up to the chat. I see a lot of familiar faces here. We have Stephanie Griffin, Riot We, and AD for 744, and a lot of other good people. So yeah, I agree with your player ratings. I heard a little bit. The only thing I'm not that impressed with McTominay at the moment. I think he did good when it comes to winning the ball. But when he wins the ball, he has a lot of good chances playing the ball forward, but it's a much more sideways and backwards. So I would like more output from him. But, we can't expect more, and we know who we are talking about. It's McTominay. So, yeah, in the end of the day, he did well today. But for me, I think the man of the match was either, I would say it was either Maguire or
Onana, right?
Garnacho.
Oh, Garnacho. Okay, fine. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
No.
Onana was good too.
Yeah, exactly. It made, I think, at least two key saves today that I think kept us in the game. So, yeah, I don't particularly disagree with that. And like I said, I think there are a lot of people that are complaining about seeing Maguire and Evans starting. But as I said to quite a few people, one, Fulham goal-wise, threat-wise, have not really been a threat for anyone this season. So really, those two players should be able to handle the Fulham attack. But more importantly, as much as I love Varane and think he's good, for me, at this point, he's as injury prone and brittle as Martial is. And we don't know what the situation is, but if at the end of the day, Varane plays 60 minutes and then is out for 2 or 3 weeks with another knock, you got to be able to manage these things. And it just seems like with both those players, you can only really play them for maybe 15 or 20 minutes at a burst and do that, then actually relying them as starters. Because if you do that, they'll get injured. And then you're in a difficult situation where, in the case of this situation, Lindelof wasn't available. So what happened if Lindelof was available? Lindelof is not available. If Varane starts, picks up an injury, you then have zero options on the, you have zero options, and then you have to go away to Copenhagen. So, so these are the things, So, but I mean, just overall, so because I'm just coming to the end of the show, Jarvis. But I want to hear your thoughts. But just kind of like your overall kind of thoughts on the game and where you think United should go from here.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting much. We all seen the last couple of weeks. We lost 3-0 against City and Newcastle, and the players was awful. Today was a little bit better. I think it was a step up. I think we can build on this. It will create some confidence into the group, and I could see that at least they tried. The quality wasn't there. The passes was off. It was a little bit sloppy, and the timing in between the players. The passes were sometimes coming behind them, and sometimes it was too long. So it wasn't like clicking. So, but at least they tried. When we compare to the City game, that was like all dead. But this, they had a little bit more tenacity in them. And as you mentioned, the McTominay, he was good by winning the ball. Maguire was good by winning the ball. The only player who didn't play well today was Anthony. He was totally off. I think Ten Hag should have taken him off earlier. Because it wasn't working at all. It seems like he's totally out of balance. But yeah, we played against Fulham. They are not a good team. They are actually one of the worst teams we have played this season, and they didn't create anything. Their striker, I don't know his name. What's his name again? It was Munoz, something like that.
I'll bring up the. Here we go. Yeah, Muniz or something like that. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah.
Muniz, and they brought on Vinicius, and both of them, they didn't have a goal in them. They could have played 10 games in a row and they wouldn't have scored, in my opinion. So I think we were lucky today to even score ourselves. We created 5 shots on target or something like that. But the goal was good. I must give a big up to Pelestri for the assist. He won 3 duels to get the ball to Bruno and for him to score. So it was a good effort from Pelestri. And from now on, and against Copenhagen, I expect Pelestri to start, because Anthony is not good enough. He needs at least a couple of weeks on the bench to get his balance straight and head leveled.
Yeah, no, I like Anthony should be an impact player for me from now on. I want to see, because even just like, I just feel like even he's more, Pelestri just seems even more like an intelligent football player. Just with the way that he set up that goal, for example. Like I've not seen for Bruno, the way he held up the ball, the touch, etc.
Yeah,
I've not seen that at all from Anthony. At all, so I just see a guy who has forgotten he can't take on a man. He's still incredibly one-footed, and even just as a winger, has he even bothered to even try and create anything for Højlund as number 9? No. So what exactly, even defensively, like I'm just trying to think, what exactly is it? Oh, he said he's better defensive than Sancho. He's not doing that now. He's not creating his number 9. His touch is awful. His passing is awful. I don't get it, and I think serious questions will be had if Anthony starts away to Copenhagen. I think, I mean, maybe won't be completely adverse to him starting against Luton. I'd like to think that Anthony should at least be able to play well against. I mean, I'm saying it, but he should be able to at least play well against Luton at home. You'd think, but a crucial game against Copenhagen away. If you have to play between Palestri and Anthony, for me, you start Palestri. Sorry.
Yeah, and when it comes to Palestri, he was actually quite good when we played away against Bayern Munich. So I think the European football suits him. His style of play suits the European football. So it's a good match. I saw Anthony's stats today. He had 79% pass accuracy. He had 44 touches, but he lost possession 10 times. He only won 3 out of 10 duels because he's actually good dueling. He has a lot of what do you call it, the grit and tenacity in him. So he usually works hard, but today he lost all his duels. He only dribbled once out of 4 times successfully and 1 tackle. So he had a real stinker of a game. So I think he just needs to be put on the bench because it's also for Ten Hag's sake, because now the pressure is on Ten Hag, and if he keeps playing his players, it will go against him. So I think it's time.
Well, you say that, Jarvis. He's not even playing his players. I mean, you saw Amrabat and Mount on the bench. Those are his players. Mount is definitely his player when he gave him the 7 shirts, and for me, Mount. I can sort of understand the favorites of Anthony is your player. You spend a lot of money. I can kind of understand that. The Mount signing currently right now, I don't understand. I really, really don't understand, because you went out of your way. You even gave him another 7 shirt. He only had 1 year left on his contract, and we spent 60 million. And now he's basically on the bench.
Yeah,
and he hasn't made the midfield better. That signing, I generally do not. I don't understand right now. I really, really don't, and I don't know. Amrabat, okay, fine, back up for Casemiro. When he's out, and fair enough, whatever. And he's only really gonna. We still need to make a decision on him because he's not permanent. He's just a year loan. But Mount for 60 million. It's an enigma for me. And unless it's because, again, he's also injury prone and they want to mitigate his injuries. But I'm still like, in a game like this, in my prediction, I thought, he's going to play maybe McTominay, Mount, and Eriksen, or McTominay, Mount, and Bruno, or whoever. I thought Mount would definitely start this game. The fact that he didn't start, I don't understand.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Speaking of Mount, he came on today. He played, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the game, and he was actually quite good when he came on. Maybe because he played against Newcastle, maybe Ten Hag is resting him for the Copenhagen game. But he needs to perform better and cement his place in the first team, because as you mentioned, 60 million or 55 plus 5 add-ons. It's a lot of money. There's been a lot of speculations that the Mount signing was a club signing and not Ten Hag's signing. They are saying he wanted Xavi Simons, but the club refused. They gave him Mason Mount. Take Mason Mount instead. So in a way, it's easy for us sitting on the outside to criticize Ten Hag when it comes to Mount, but at the end of the day, we don't know all the details.
The number 7 shirt, though, that sounds personal to me. Like I wouldn't disagree with you, but the reason why I'm skeptical is, one, the number 7 shirt was given to him, but more importantly, he only had a year left on his contract, and he wasn't going anywhere. So it's very weird to me for the club to be like, right, you can get him for free, or potentially you can even negotiate, because he wasn't negotiating with anybody. So you can speak to him in January, and then you can sign him for, because if we were signing him out on a free, no one has any issue with that. So there must have been something that said we need to go all out to get Mason Mount, because 60 million for a player with only 1 year left and to give him number 7, there must have been someone, whether that was Ten Hag or Mertz or someone, that was when we need to go all out for this player. Because that just doesn't make sense. Not for
100%. It
so.
doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But we know who are running the club. It's Arnold and Murto, and they don't have any footballing sense. So unless Ten Hag wanted this signing, I don't understand it either. But at the end of the day, it's how our club is run. It's catastrophe after catastrophe when it comes to signings. It doesn't seem to get anything right. It's very hard, at least. We have seen it the last 10 years.
No, I don't disagree. Final comments from Rob, who says, Onana's improvement, which is good to see. He was the man of the match for me today. Kept a clean sheet. Harry doing well too. Good to see Amazon back in the team. Plestri in, Anthony out for me too. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. So just final thoughts, Jarvis, like, do you see Manchester United kicking off from here?
It could be the turning point. What is positive at the moment, we saw Wan-Bissaka back. We had Mainu on the bench. A couple of weeks, Luke Shaw is coming back. So the pieces are falling into place at the moment. So if we can build on this, I don't expect us to play good football, but at least if we can grind out some results, win against Copenhagen, and kick on, maybe this will be the beginning of the chase for the top 4, and maybe we can have a good cup run this season. But I think things will turn around at the moment. I saw improvements in places. I saw patterns. We saw Dalot tucking into the inverted midfielder and Eriksen dropping deep with Maguire and Evans, and playing out from the back, setting up triangles with Bruno and getting Garnacho going on the wing all the time. We did it repeatedly 4 to 5 times at least during the first half. So I see some positive signs at the moment. Yeah.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Thanks, Jarvis, man. I appreciate you coming on as always.
No problem.
Guys, thanks everyone for tuning in. Really, really appreciate and support. Make sure you head over, obviously, and subscribe to the channel. Obviously, we're back live again for the Copenhagen Champions League as well as Luton result as well. Where can they find you, Jarvis, by the way?
Yeah, you can find me on MUFC Release TV and on Twitter at Bowley77. So just add me and I will add back.
Awesome. Have a nice day, everyone. Thanks again in the chat, and cheers. Peace out, guys. Peace.